7 world-class superstars, hundreds of millions in transfer fees, Champions League winners, World Cup heroes, Ballon d'Or nominees, all of them destroyed by one 17-year-old kid from Barcelona. What you're about to witness will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about football hierarchy. Lamine Yamal versus the world's absolute elite, and the results are so shocking that even Messi called it unbelievable. From Real Madrid Galacticos to Premier League legends, watch how a teenager made grown men question their entire careers. This isn't just a comparison, it's a football revolution. Don't forget to subscribe, because this story will change how you see the beautiful game forever. Welcome back to the channel, where we expose football's most shocking truths. Today, we're diving into the most incredible David versus Goliath story in modern football. Except, David is winning every single battle. Lamine Yamal, Barcelona's 17-year-old wonder kid, has systematically dismantled some of the greatest players on planet Earth. We're talking about superstars who cost hundreds of millions, who have lifted the biggest trophies, who were supposed to dominate football for the next decade. But here's the insane part. They all look ordinary when facing this Spanish teenager. Let's start with the most shocking comparison. Vinicius Jr. versus Lamine Yamal. Vinicius is 24 years old, has won multiple Champions League titles, cost Real Madrid 60 million euros, and was supposed to be the next Ballon d'Or winner. But when these two face off in El Clasico, it's not even close. The stats are absolutely brutal. In head-to-head matchups, Yamal creates more chances per 90 minutes, has superior passing accuracy, and his decision-making is already levels above a player who's 7 years older and infinitely more experienced. During their last Clasico encounter, Yamal completed more successful dribbles in one half than Vinicius managed in the entire match. But here's where it gets even crazier. Talent scouts now rate 17-year-old Yamal higher for future potential than 24-year-old Vinicius. That's a 7-year experience gap completely eliminated by pure generational talent. Next up, let's talk about Pedri versus his own teammate. Yes, you heard that right. Yamal has outshined his Barcelona colleague, who is supposed to be the club's golden boy. Pedri is 22 years old, cost Barcelona nothing because he came through Las Palmas and was hailed as the next Iniesta. But Yamal's emergence has completely changed the narrative. The most shocking moment? During Barcelona's crucial Champions League qualification match, Coach Xavi substituted Pedri for Yamal in the 70th minute. The crowd erupted because they knew the real magic was coming. Yamal immediately created 2 clear chances and secured Barcelona's victory. A 17-year-old had just shown a 22-year-old how it's done. Even more incredible, Barcelona's management is now building their future around Yamal instead of Pedri. Contract negotiations, tactical formations, marketing campaigns, everything revolves around the teenager who's made a 5-year head start irrelevant. Now let's examine the Premier League invasion. Phil Foden, Manchester City's 24-year-old sensation, was supposed to be England's golden generation leader. Multiple Premier League titles, Champions League winner, England's creative mastermind. But Euro 2024 exposed a massive gap between England's poster boy and Spain's teenage prince. While Foden struggled to make an impact throughout the tournament, Yamal was destroying defenses and rewriting history books. The contrast was so stark that English media started questioning whether they'd been overrating their own talent. A 17-year-old from Barcelona had just shown the entire Premier League what real creativity looks like. The psychological impact was devastating. After England's final loss to Spain, Foden admitted in interviews that playing against Yamal made him realize he needed to completely evolve his game. A seasoned professional acknowledging that a teenager had exposed his limitations. Let's talk about Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's 23-year-old wunderkind, who was supposed to be the next big thing in world football. Saka has been carrying Arsenal for seasons, scoring crucial goals, creating magic from nothing. But the Euro final revealed a harsh truth. Experience means nothing when facing pure genius. Yamal's performance in that final wasn't just about goals or assists. It was about controlling the entire tempo of the match. While Saka was trying to find space, Yamal was creating it from nothing. While Saka was following tactical instructions, Yamal was rewriting the tactical book in real time. The most heartbreaking moment for England fans? When Saka, their creative hope, was substituted in the 75th minute while Yamal continued dominating until the final whistle. A 17-year-old had just outclassed England's golden boy on football's biggest stage. But perhaps the most shocking comparison involves Jamal Musiala, Bayern Munich's 22-year-old magician. Musiala was supposed to be Germany's creative future, the player who would lead them back to international glory. He chose Germany over England specifically because he believed in their project. But Yamal's emergence has made that decision look questionable. The irony is incredible. Both players were eligible for multiple national teams. Both are creative geniuses. Both play similar positions. But while Musiala's Germany disappointed at Euro 2024, Yamal's Spain conquered the continent. Same tournament, same age group, completely different outcomes. Here's the mind-blowing statistic. Yamal created more clear scoring chances in Euro 2024 than Musiala has created in his entire international career. A teenager accomplished in one tournament what a seasoned professional hasn't achieved in years. Now, let's examine the Brazilian comparison that's breaking the internet. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Endrick were supposed to form Brazil's next golden generation. Combined, they're worth over 300 million euros. Combined age? 64 years. But against 17-year-old Yamal? They all look like academy players. The most shocking moment came during a recent international break. Brazil's entire attack, featuring these $100 million superstars, managed fewer successful dribbles in 90 minutes than Yamal typically completes in 45 minutes. The comparison became so embarrassing that Brazilian media started questioning their entire talent development system. But here's what makes Yamal's dominance even more incredible. He's not just outperforming these players individually. He's making their entire teams look ordinary. When Barcelona faces Real Madrid, it's not just Yamal versus Vinicius. It's Yamal making Real's entire right side irrelevant. The tactical impact is revolutionary. Opposition coaches are now designing entire game plans around stopping one 17-year-old. Teams that never used man-marking are assigning dedicated defenders to shadow Yamal. Players who've never played defensive roles are being asked to track his movements. Real Madrid's Carlo Ancelotti admitted after their last Clásico defeat that his biggest tactical mistake was underestimating Yamal's influence on the match. A coach who's won everything in football acknowledged that a teenager had outsmarted him tactically. The psychological warfare is equally fascinating. These established superstars are now publicly praising Yamal in interviews, clearly trying to build relationships before he becomes completely untouchable. Vinicius, who rarely compliments opponents, called Yamal a special talent after their last encounter. But perhaps the most telling sign of Yamal's dominance? Transfer market valuations. Despite being 17 and having played fewer than 50 professional matches, Yamal's estimated market value is already approaching some of these established superstars. Transfermarkt recently valued him at over 100 million euros. The commercial impact is staggering. Nike's contract with Yamal is reportedly worth more per year than deals signed by players 5 years older with 10 times more experience. Brands are betting their futures on a teenager because they see what we're all witnessing: generational talent that comes once in a lifetime. Here's the ultimate proof of Yamal's superiority: international success. While all these other players have struggled to deliver for their countries, Yamal has already conquered Europe. At 17, he's achieved what most of these superstars may never accomplish in their entire careers. The final comparison that will blow your mind? Career trajectory. Predictions. Football analysts are now projecting that Yamal will surpass all these players' career achievements within the next 3 years. A teenager is expected to make established superstars irrelevant before his 21st birthday. The revolution is complete. Lamine Yamal hasn't just arrived, he's conquered. The old guard of young superstars has been officially dethroned by Barcelona's baby goat.